Welcome back to our channel, everyone. I hope everybody is doing great and keeping safe. My name is Amin. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I live here in Toronto at the moment, and I run an immigration company named Mewi Immigration Services. My team and I, we specialize in business immigration, and what we are doing at the moment is that we are putting together a series of videos regarding different type of business immigration options people have across the globe to come to Canada. So I'm going to leave the link for that playlist down below in the description section, and you will see it up here somewhere as well. And today's video, we're going to speak about the province called British Columbia. The provincial nomination programs for entrepreneurs are not federal programs, they're provincial programs. So every province have their own rules. So today's video, again, we are going to speak about the British Columbia's entrepreneur provincial nomination program, all the requirements of the program, how their point system works, and what are the steps you need to take to apply through that program. Obviously, our team is going to help you in case that if you hire us to do that application for you. But looking at this video, you will have an overall idea how that program works. So let's start with the minimum requirements. So the first thing is you need to have certain experience in managing or owning a business previously. So the requirement for British Columbia is that you need to have at least 3 years of business owner or manager experience in the last 10 years. Or if you are not an owner or a manager, you need a combination of 1 year experience as a business owner manager and 2 year experience as a senior manager. Okay, so there is a little flexibility over there, but overall you need 3 years of experience in the past 10 years. Keep in mind, British Columbia at the moment has 2 programs for entrepreneurs. One is a base program wherein you can actually buy or own a business, existing business or a new business anywhere in British Columbia, and there is a second program which is a regional pilot program. We're not going to speak much about the regional program because there is a little bit of a difference between the base program and the regional program, and we'll cover that in another video. Today's video is going to be solely on the base program. So the second requirement for the base program is net worth, and any applicant who's applying into this program need to have a minimum of 600,000 Canadian dollars of net worth. And a question a lot of people ask is that how are they going to verify this net worth? The answer is that when we are doing this application, after the first step, once your application is verified by the British Columbia immigration officers, they're going to give you a list of authorized auditors who are going to be in your country, who are going to audit the net worth for you, and they're going to give you a report of your net worth which you are going to submit in the final application. So you do not need to worry about that. You will be provided a list when you clear the first step. So the next requirement is education. So to apply under this program and to be eligible for this program, you need to have at least a post-secondary education, or you need to have experience as an active business owner manager for at least 3 of the last 5 years with 100% ownership of the business. So education is going to obviously increase your points since this is a point-based system, but you still will be eligible to apply if you don't have post-secondary education, but if you have ownership experience of a business for 3 years in the last 5 years. So keep that in mind, but this is going to come in handy when you're doing your points calculation. It's going to be a critical point because the higher education you have, the more your points are going to be. Then you need to have a business proposal. So the idea is once you select the business which you want to buy, you need to propose to the British Columbia immigration officer that this is my plan, this is how I want to purchase the business, how I'm going to run, this is how many employees I'm going to have. A complete business plan to show what you're going to do for the next 3 to 5 years to make progress in your business and make profit through it. Then the ownership. Again, this is not going to be a sole ownership kind of an approach. British Columbia is a little lenient in a situation where they say that you can, if you do not want to own the business by yourself, you can partner with somebody who could be an existing business owner here, or who could be another investor with you who wants to be a partner for your business in this program. So the minimum ownership percentage, if you want to apply under this program, is 33.33%. Okay, and then again, once you are coming in here, you're buying the business, they want to make sure that you're also investing in the business. The minimum investment is about $200,000. Oh, so there are rules around what this investment is going to be for. For that, to get into more detail, obviously reach out to our office. I'll leave the email in the description section down below, and we'll be able to go through the option with you and see how this 200,000 can be allocated. But again, this is going to be invested from your actual net worth to own a business, to buy a business, and to operate a business as well. Okay. Then job creation. There is a requirement that anytime you purchase an existing business or open a new business in BC, you need to make at least one full-time equivalent job for a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. So in this situation, you cannot hire a temporary foreign worker. You need to hire a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident from Canada to do that job for you. Plus, if you are buying an existing business, you need to ensure that all the existing employees of that business at the time when you purchase will still keep their jobs. So you would have to purchase the business and also hire the same employees to do the same jobs they've been doing and pay them the respective salaries as well. There is another important point, which is to make an exploratory visit. So in certain provinces, you need to come to the province and do a research about your business, meet the business owners and meet the other business communities, and make sure that you document it to show to the immigration officer that you've been to the province, you know what you're doing. But in this situation, there is no requirement to make the exploratory visit, but you get points for that. So if you want to up your points for the application, I would recommend that if you want to buy a business in BC, you do make an exploratory visit for that as well. Okay, moving on. The next one is your language results. You need to have a minimum of CLB4 in either English or French, and you need to submit the report of the language test in your final report as well. The next one is partnership. In this BC Entrepreneur Program, you have the option of partnering either with another person who is applying through the same program, or you can also partner with an existing business owner from BC as well. So the BC immigration department is a little lenient towards that, so you do not need to be a sole owner of the business. If you can, that's always great. If you cannot, then obviously you can partner with other people as well and make them a part of this application. Since I told you that this is a point-based system, there is a total of 200 points, out of which 120 points is for self-declaration section. That is basically you, your experience, your age, your education, and your net worth. All of them are going to make these points. I'm going to make another video regarding breakdown of all of these points, and I will also leave the link for that video once I make it in the description section down below as well. And then you get 80 points from for the business concept. So 120 for yourself and 80 for the business concept. And you must score a minimum of 32 points in the business concept section. So that's another requirement. If you do not have the minimum of 32 out of the 80 points in the business concept section, you're not going to be eligible for this program. So before you even start your application, you put together a business plan, not a complete business plan, but a rough idea, and then try to understand how your points are going to look like when everything is put together. If you do not have the 32 points, I would recommend that you look for another business and make another business plan so you have the minimum 32 points in there. So the registration time frame, once you do an initial application through an online portal for the BC province, they take about 6 weeks to initially review. That's again is going to be a point-based system. Once they review it, they see that you have, they're going to pick up the people who have the maximum points, and then they will send them the invitations to apply. Once you get the invitation, then you are going to be able to complete your application and give them all the data, and that's only when after all of this process is done and you have something in your hand as a work permit application, that's when I would suggest you buy a business. Unless then, don't make your buying decision yet. Net worth verification, again, as I mentioned before, BC province in their invitation to apply, they are going to send you the list of people who are going to be able to do this verification for you. Choose one, whichever you like, and get them to do the verification, and then submit the copies of the verification along with the final application. So the application time frame itself, once you get the invitation, you submit your documents. You actually, I believe, have 120 days to submit all your paperwork. And after your submission is complete, the BC province is going to take about 4 months to do a final review on your application before giving you the letter to support you for the work permit. And another, is there going to be an interview required for this approval? Yes. Once you're going through the process and you've submitted all your paperwork, then once they review the paperwork, they're going to call you for an interview, and that interview is going to happen in BC itself. The BC province is not going to give you a letter to help you get a visitor visa, but having that information in your file is obviously going to help to get you that visitor visa, and you can come over here, do the interview, and then move the process along. So minimum amount of time to submit a final report. So that comes after they have given you the letter to get a visitor visa, and you are already here. You started making your business purchase, and you are running the business yourself, and you need to run that business for 18 months and provide a final report before they review the report and give you the nomination to apply for PR. The next one is fees. So the initial registration fees is $300. It's non-refundable. So make sure that you are qualified for this program and you have enough points to at least be able to register. And once the registration is complete and they select your file, then the actual application fees is about $3,500 for the BC province, which is again non-refundable. And this is not the actual PR fees. So at the later stage, when you are eligible to apply for the PR, then there is going to be obviously application fees for the PR and the right of permanent residency fees, which is around $2,000. Okay, and that is all the main requirements at a glance. Now we're going to speak about the steps, how this process is going to work. So now moving on to the steps, I've broken down the process in 10 different steps. So following it, that's going to become a little easier for everyone. So to start with, the first step is you need to identify the business you're going to purchase. Again, even though, as I said, that there is no exploratory visit required, but I highly recommend you do that, so you actually see the business you're going to buy, and that's always going to give you points on your point-based system as well. And in before the end of the video, I'm going to show you the ineligible businesses which you are not going to be able to buy, so stay tuned on that as well. So after you identify the business, you make sure that your points are going to be okay and you're going to be eligible to apply for this program. Then you move on to step 2, which is doing the registration for the primary applicant. Okay, so this registration is going to happen online on the BC provinces portal. Our team is going to do it for you if you hire us to do this program. And again, after you do the registration, you're going to be scored based on a point-based system, and on your screen you're going to be able to see the chart for the points, and I'm going to quickly go over this one as well before we move on to the next point. Okay, so you will see that for self-declaration, for your experience and ownership, you get a maximum of 24 points. Your net worth, you're going to get a maximum of 12 points. Total personal investment, how much you're going to make, you're going to get a total of 20 points. For the amount and number of jobs you're going to create, you get 20 points. For the type of district or where exactly you're going to own a business, that's also going to give you points. And for your adaptability, basically how your experience in your previous life, what you're doing right now, is going to be carry forward to what you're going to do when you come to Canada. That's also going to give you points. So that is a total of 120 points for your self-declaration. And then we have 80 points of business concept, and that's broken down in commercial viability of the business. You get maximum 30 points. This is where your business plan is going to come in handy, how well prepared it is, and how transparent is it, easy for the immigration officers to follow that your business is going to be a success or not. The transferability of skills, again, it comes as a part of the adaptability as well. How your previous experience is going to help run this business, and the economic benefit your business is going to provide to Canada, a total of 30 points. Again, as I mentioned before, this is going to be a very long video if I go into detail of each and every point and show what category is going to give you the points and break it down. So I'm going to make a different video for it, and I'm going to leave the link for that video in the description section. Alright, so now that you have completed your assessment of your points and you have a business plan and a business you want to purchase, you do your registration on the BC PNP's online portal, and after you complete that registration, they're going to send you an invitation based on your points. The higher your points, the higher your chances to get your invitation. And if you do not get an invitation, it's just simply because there are other people who might have more points than you ahead of you, and they are going to be selected first. And at that point, you have an option of maybe selecting another business in another district, or figuring out other ways to improve your points. And if you choose to select another business and do another registration, you would have to cancel your first registration. So you cannot have two registration in the same province at the same time. Okay, so in an event that if they decide to send you the invitation, then we move on to step 4, which is to complete your application. They're going to give you 120 days in which you would have to prepare your complete business plan and get your evaluation for your net worth completed by the recommended person from BC Provincial Nomination Program. They're going to send you a list of people who are going to be able to do the assessment for you. You get the assessment done, submit that assessment report, submit your IELTS results, submit your business plan, submit your personal information, and pay the $3,500 non-refundable fees. And they're going to take that and put you in the pool, and they're going to start your assessment. It's going to take about 4 months for completing that assessment. So the next step is step number 5, which is the interview. After you complete your application and submit all your documentation, the province of BC is going to take about 4 months to review all of that paperwork, and they might decide to bring you in for an interview. Very likely it's going to happen because they want to meet the person who is going to be they're going to nominate and for a PR eventually, and they want to see that if they're actually capable of running a business in Canada, and they are going to be able to give BC an economic benefit. So in that interview, they're going to gauge your knowledge of the business, your business plan as well. So you need to understand your business plan. You should be able to openly and freely speak about that business plan as well. And you are obviously going to be present for the interview, but your RCIC, your consultant, is also allowed to be in that interview, but only as a listener. So after the interview, once they decide that they want to move ahead with you, they're going to ask you to sign a performance agreement, which is step 6. So this agreement is basically saying that what you have promised to the immigration officer for BC, you're going to do that over a period of time. So they're going to review you based on that performance agreement. So whatever performance agreement you sign, you have to work with it. You cannot change it at your own will. If you have to change it, there are provisions. You have to consult the BC immigration office as well, the immigration officers, to see that if you're able to make that changes. If they both you and they agree, then only you can make the change. But your performance agreement is basically what is you're going to be judged at finally when they decide to give you a permanent residency. Okay, so after you sign the performance agreement, they're going to give you a letter of confirmation, which you're going to use to apply for a work permit to come to Canada and start your business. That is step number 7, getting your work permit. And after you get your work permit, you have 365 days, which is basically 12 months, to get your work permit and come to Canada and start on your business. And then step number 8 is to establish your business, and they're going to give you anything between 18 to 20 months to establish your business, and throughout that time they might visit your office as well. And between step number 8, establishing your business, and step number 9, submitting your final report. So when you are running your business, you are going to make sure that keep your performance agreement handy, understand what your requirements are for that business, and make sure that you are fulfilling them by the time you make your final report. So in your final report, between the months of 18 and 20 months after you start your business, you're going to submit your final report to the BC Province Immigration Office, and based on that report they are going to decide that if they want to do a final review at your location or not, or if they're satisfied with the performance of the business, and they're going to get you to sign a condition of nomination. The nomination declaration is kind of a performance agreement, but only for the duration your PR application is in process. Okay, so by this time your performance agreement has been completed. Whatever you promised to the BC immigration officer, you have shown that you have completed those requirements through the final report. But now they're going to nominate you for the PR, and the PR process is going to take anything, I believe, from 12 months to 18 months, depending upon that situation at that point of time. But in that time you also should be under the watchful eye of the immigration officers, and they are going to give you the condition of nomination declaration. So at every step of this program you're going to have to sign an agreement with them before they give you a work permit. Then you need to sign a nomination declaration, condition of nomination declaration, before they give you the nomination for the PR. So this is going to the final step. After they give you the nomination, you're going to come to your consultant, who are going to apply for your permanent residency through IRCC, and that application we will do it for you, your spouse or your dependent children, all at the same time. So this is a complete step 1 to step 10 story of how this process worked. The only thing, the extra we are going to talk about in this video is the ineligible businesses which you cannot purchase, and after that we're going to make another video on the breakdown of all the points. Okay, so the ineligible businesses, if you choose any of these businesses, on your screen you're going to be able to see the list. You're not going to be able to apply under this program. The first one is bed and breakfast, payday loans, pawnbrokers, tanning salons, DVD rentals, coin operated laundries, automated car washes, scrap metal recycling, business selling used goods you cannot buy, real estate brokerage, insurance brokerage or business brokerage, real estate development activities, goods trading business, or business involved in producing, distributing or selling pornography or sexually explicit content, and any other type of business that by association would tend to bring the BC PNP or the government of BC into disrepute. So anything like that you are not going to be able to purchase. Alright, I hope this video has given you enough information about the BC Entrepreneur PNP provincial program, and you'll probably be one step closer to your dream of owning a business in Canada and living here. If you want to hire our team for your immigration application, please reach out to us. The information to contact us is going to be in the description section down below, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. If you like the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends, and we're going to make a lot of other videos which are going to help you make your immigration dream to Canada come true. Thank you very much.